As the Easter travel rush builds up, traffic volumes on the N3 are climbing. The key link between Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal is seeing heavy movement in both directions. To give us an update and more details now, we're joined live by Thania Dhoogra. She is from the N3 toll concession. She joins us now to give us more details. Thania, good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. It is, again, that time of the year when you get a lot of interviews from the media. How's it looking in terms of people who are about to hit the road now and use the N3? How's it looking at the moment?
Well, good morning, Maseko, and good morning to all your viewers. The N3 is starting to look fairly busy. We're seeing southbound traffic volumes of just under 1,400 vehicles an hour, so that's many people heading into KwaZulu-Natal. But as you mentioned, we have started seeing a pattern where, throughout the day yesterday, it was fairly busy in the northbound direction as well. So we're expecting that the route's going to be fairly busy this morning. It's likely that that will end by mid-morning or by midday.
So in terms of those numbers, I think you spoke about 1,000 vehicles an hour. Accidents, do you know, have you heard of any where there were fatalities already?
Well, nothing that has been reported to me, fortunately, and at the moment the road is open and there aren't any disruptions to traffic, so nothing on the N3 toll route. But yes, with traffic volumes increasing, obviously, so too does the risk of crashes occurring, as everybody's in a hurry to get to their holiday destinations, and I think that they forget to back a little bit of their patience and also their common sense. And that's why we've been reminding road users to adopt a risk management approach to their traveling, because they ultimately are the decision makers behind those wheels and we need them to play their part.
Any idea what's driving, you talk about people going in one direction. Most of the time that would be the traffic that you expect your people going from Johannesburg to KZN, for example, or to Durban. But now you're saying, there's this new phenomenon of people making their way this side. What do you think is driving that? Any idea?
Well, I think personally, many people have traditionally gone down to the coast and it's always been a holiday destination. The Drakensberg, it's beautiful, majestic. Those are our typical holiday destinations and many people are still doing this. But especially around Easter, it's a family time. And with many people having moved into Gauteng and into that economic heartland, a lot of people are now tending to come into Johannesburg to visit and spend time with their family. And that might be part of the reason. Obviously, there are a number of other potential variables and factors like the fuel price, for example. But yeah, well, obviously, it's pretty difficult to tell without doing a proper sample.
So you've also warned that crash risks increase when volumes rise. What are the biggest mistakes that drivers tend to make, especially during heavy traffic conditions?
Well, they tend to not maintain safe following distances. They don't give themselves enough time to make proper decisions based on the changing conditions around them. And I mean, changing conditions are not just traffic, it's also weather conditions, for example. And unfortunately, as we know, those things change, pretty much, at any given time. But often what happens is that drivers are overtaking when it's unsafe to do so. They're not necessarily buckled up. They're distracted when they're driving, and many people, tend to focus on their cell phones while they're behind the wheel, and they're not focusing on the traffic ahead of them. Also, again, as many people are on the road and eager to get away, they tend to leave early. Visibility might be reduced. They're distracted, and they might be fatigued if they don't stop regularly. So all of these things tend to contribute to, potentially dangerous driving conditions. And that's why, once again, people need to slow down, follow the signposted speed limits, or drive defensively. Adjust your driving style to the prevailing conditions. And, not do silly things like drive too close to a truck, for instance, because truck drivers, their sight distance obviously is a lot more different from a light motor vehicle. And if you're driving too close behind them, they can't even see you, before you make a dangerous driving maneuver, like having to pull out onto incoming traffic in order to overtake them without a clear line of sight yourself. So it's silly things like that, small things that drivers can adjust in their driving styles themselves that can make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Thania, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for speaking to us this morning. Please do be careful on the road, whether you're using the N3 or any other road or route, you need to make sure that you are safe. Thania Dhoogra is from the N3 toll concession.